Hey everyone, in a previous video we disassembled, cleaned, inspected, and reassembled this Rock Island 1911. And while every cleaning should not be so comprehensive as to remove the firing pin and extractor for cleaning, it should be checked and cleaned on occasion, especially if there are problems with the firearm. So we're going to disassemble the slide and conduct that cleaning and inspection today. Before getting underway, we will verify that this firearm is unloaded. We assume all firearms are loaded until we verified that it is not loaded. So we will pick up the pistol and depress the magazine catch to release the magazine. Checking the magazine, we see there's no ammunition in it. Then we'll pull the slide back, locking it in the open position by lifting up on the slide stop. Inspecting now within the chamber, we see there's no ammunition in it. We can look straight down to the bottom, no ammunition. From the bottom to the top, no ammunition. And then once more, we inspect the chamber one more time. This pistol's not loaded. We pull back on the slide to release it, and this pistol is cleared. I'll point out that I do avoid dry firing, so you will see me squeeze the trigger while holding the hammer and releasing the hammer slowly back into the forward position. With the pistol now safely unloaded, we will point our attention to the barrel bushing as well as the recoil spring plug. This can either be pushed down with the fingers, as well there is a special tool to release the barrel bushing. A drift can also be used. We could see that this is not a stock recoil spring plug, so your mileage may vary. This is also one of those times an unloaded gun could take your eye out, so eye protection is recommended. I'll demonstrate using my fingers first, depressing the recoil spring plug so that I could rotate the barrel bushing clockwise, always keeping my finger on the recoil spring plug because it's under a lot of tension. Once the barrel bushing reaches the 9 o'clock position, I could slowly release tension on the recoil spring and plug, and this step is completed. Using the barrel bushing tool that came with my Kimber, it's form-fitting to the barrel bushing. I press down and rotate clockwise, and then slowly lift up, releasing tension from the recoil spring. I'm demonstrating this, don't do this at home, but we can see that on this recoil spring plug, I put it at the 90, but it still grabs on to the ledge. So even with my finger away, it's holding on. So I have to push downward to release it. So it's just something to point out that there is some nuance there. Even when it's turned on 90 degrees, it can get stuck sometimes. So now I remove the recoil spring plug and put it off to the side. The safety should be in the off-down position, which it was from when we cleared the firearm. I pulled the hammer back. We draw our attention to this small half circle on the slide, which we will be aligning to the center of this notch. The slide has no spring tension, so it is pulled back into position. We have a close-up of that half circle directly over the notch, and with that positioned, we can push on this little bump right here on this side of the pistol. It is just the other end of the slide stop protruding outward, and we see it come out, and now we can pull out that entire slide stop and put it off to the side. Now holding the grip and the slide, we could gently pull the slide all the way forward and off of the frame, detaching this pistol into two components. Draw attention to the slide. Now the setup on this pistol is slightly different, but I could remove this recoil spring by pulling away from the first two rungs. On others, a slight turn in the opposite direction of the coil and then pulling away would free it off of the guide. Then I could lift the recoil spring guide towards the rear, up and out of the slide. On some pistols, the spring and guide could be removed at the same time, and then the spring could be removed from it. The barrel bushing is indexed, so you see here spun around the 4 o'clock position. It can be removed from the slide. Ensuring that this barrel link is pushed forward, we can see it pivots. We can then push the entire barrel right out the front of the slide. We can now proceed with the removal of the firing pin and extractor. Now working with the slide and looking at it from the rear, we can see the firing pin protruding from the rear. Depressing with the drift, we could see it coming forward. We'll be removing not only the firing pin, but also the extractor. This begins with the removal of the firing pin stop. We can see that the top is rounded and the bottom is chamfered. The firing pin interferes with the travel of the firing pin stop, holding it into position. So we're going to push the firing pin down so we could slide the stop downward partially. And then we'll slide no further, remembering the firing pin is under spring tension, and this will snap out right in your face. With the finger completely covering the firing pin stop is slid down and out of the slide, slowly releasing tension from the firing pin. Here's the stop. We'll put it off to the side. And we'll remove the firing pin from the slide, and we can see some nastiness hanging off the end of the pin that was picked up on removal. Turning it over and tapping it, we remove the spring, and now we'll remove the extractor. Don't be tempted to use any part of the slide as a pry point to lift up on this extractor. Even if it's difficult to remove, you could damage the rear of the slide this way. Ideally, attempt to remove the extractor by pushing back on it from the front of the extractor, and it should protrude from the rear of the slide. If it is stubborn and does require assistance from the rear after attempts, use something as a fulcrum, like a screwdriver or a dowel or whatever, to help lift it up, though always try from the front or oil or whatever first before doing so. Prying in any situation would be an absolute last resort. In stubborn situations, I would gently tap the front of the extractor with a soft brass rod to loosen it from this housing, and then pull it back like so. This one's really dirty. And this is as far as we need to break down the slide for our cleaning. We're not going to be removing any sights or anything like that. Starting with the extractor, I have a patch with solvent that I'm going to use to start our cleaning, and there's a lot of debris and dirt coming off of this, so we're really going to give it a good cleaning. Yeah, that is several layers of buildup right there. Issues with the extractor could lead to jams, so it is important to make sure that the extractor is clean, even though it may not be part of the regular cleaning regimen every time the pistol's cleaned. I'm taking a brush and getting into the pores here of the extractor, just so I could get in really good and make sure that there's no debris in there. And then a visual inspection. Then wipe it down with the patch, getting in there, all those corners, make sure everything's cleaned out. Then a good wipe down of the whole extractor. And this one is good. Put it off to the side. Next will be the firing pin, which will also be cleaned with the patch and solvent. Again, we see some interesting debris that came out along with the firing pin. Looks metallic. Little sliver right there. We'll remove that. And this will just be a general cleaning of every contour of the firing pin to remove any possible debris that's built up on it. And then we'll put it off to the side. Onto the firing pin spring, again a patch and solvent, and we'll be gently rolling the spring through that patch and solvent to remove any debris from the spring. And that's it. We'll put the spring off to the side. Next will be the firing pin stop. Again, patch and solvent to clean all around, all contours, remove any dirt and debris, and then we'll place this piece off to the side. Finally, we'll be cleaning out the slide. Very quickly, I'm just using a patch to remove any dirt and oil where the firing pin stop sits, so that when I use a cotton swab in the next step, I'm not pulling that dirt in. I want to get an accurate portrayal of what kind of dirt is in here. So with a clean cotton swab, I'm just moving it around, and then I remove it, and we have a lot of dirt accumulated in here. So I'm just going to keep doing this until that cotton swab is completely saturated, spinning it around as I go along the walls of the inside of this firing pin chamber. Moving to a clean cotton swab is necessary. Continuing this procedure, I'm not using any solvent yet because I don't want to turn this into a muddy mess. I just want to remove as much debris as possible first. It's getting better. Same thing now on the port for the extractor, although that one can protrude out the other side, unlike the firing pin. And you could hear the sound of the accumulation along the walls, the abrasiveness against the cotton swab. So I'm just changing out cotton swabs as the first one fills with dirt and cleaning it because it's really built up in here. Now I'll be coating the insides with solvent, first the port for the extractor, making sure I get the walls of the entire port coated with that solvent. And then the same thing for the firing pin. Once coated, this pot will be left to sit for several minutes. Sometime later, clean cotton swabs will then be used to remove the solvent and dirt. We can see that things are looking better. Grabbing clean cotton swabs as needed. The area of the firing pin seems satisfactory. Move on to the extractor, cleaning that area. Both are finished off by turning the cotton swab only in one direction to collect any loose strands of cotton to the best extent possible. Finishing up on this procedure, we take a look on the inside and everything is looking good. What we're going to do is blow this out with air. I use compressed air, but in the video I'm using canned air, which also works just fine to remove any possible debris as well as any strands of cotton that might remain inside this piece. Another inspection, I don't see any strands of cotton stuck anywhere in here. So next we're going to take a cotton swab and add some oil to it, just a couple of drops just to wet this swab. And what I'm trying to do is just add a very light sheen of oil on the inner surfaces of this metal, only to protect it. We're not trying to lubricate it. So we're just trying to put a silhouette of oil on all of this metal that just got the solvent on it. So we're not, again, not putting a pool of oil, just sort of getting a shine on it. Added benefit of pulling out some more dirt we might have missed. This is followed by a small amount of oil on a patch so we could very lightly coat the pieces that we just cleaned. Again, this is just a silhouette of oil as a protectant, not a lubricant on these pieces. We don't want them drowning in oil. So that's the extractor. And then we're going to do the same thing, very, very lightly coated to the firing pin. And then we have our firing pin spring, followed by the firing pin stop. Beginning assembly from the rear of the slide, we'll start with the extractor, the pole pointed inward as we see here. With everything clean, it should slide all the way in with no issues, making sure that the end is lined up. We could see where the cut in the metal is, should be parallel with that of the slide. Once confident that it's parallel, it can be pushed all the way in to full seat. An inspection is then conducted, and if, as is in this case, slightly off, just push the extractor out and reattempt this procedure to make sure that it's pushed in straight. Confirming that the extractor is straight, we'll place the slide down momentarily, and grabbing our firing pin and firing pin spring, we'll insert the spring onto the firing pin. Pointing the slide upwards, we'll insert both the spring and firing pin into the slide. Next, we'll take our firing pin stop, round side pointed up and the chamfer pointed downward. And we get a good look at that chamfer from the side view that'll be pointed downward. Starting the firing pin stop on the track on the slide, we push in our firing pin slightly and with gentle pressure, pushing up against the firing pin so it doesn't shoot out in our face as it's under spring tension. We use a drift to push down on the firing pin as we continue to push up on the stop until the firing pin snaps through the round insert, locking it into position. Checking the extractor now, making sure everything looks okay, no binding. Check the firing pin, deflecting it slightly. Everything here looks okay, no binding, everything's smooth. Everything here looks good. The assembly of this slide is now complete. We begin our reassembly. Beginning with the slide, we'll take the barrel and swing the barrel link so it faces back, pushing it through the front of the slide all the way back until it stops. We can feel the locking lugs on both pieces lock into place. A close-up shows just lifting it up and you can feel it fall down and lock in right here. Lets you know it's seated properly when it falls in. Next will be the recoil spring. This particular one does not have a closed side. It's the same on both sides. We'll assume the right side in this video is the closed side. I will seat the recoil spring guide into the recoil spring and may have to twist the spring to seat it all the way. With the right side facing downward to match the contour of the barrel, the spring can be inserted like so, followed by the guide, and pushed inward into position and backed up against the barrel. Depending on your setup, you might find it easier to first insert the guide into the slide, and once it is seated, pushing it all the way back, insert the spring from the front of the slide, and then twist it to bring it all the way into position. It's very easy to reattach the slide to the frame. We'll go over it slowly. I'm going to put my finger here to support everything as I turn it over, pushing back and upward. The barrel link will hang downward like we see here. The locking lugs on the barrel and slide are locked into place. We could see on the slide and the frame where the rails will interface. The slide slides smoothly onto the frame as I hold everything together. I'm going to use my hand just to cover the spring. As I slide further, we could hear this sort of dead stop. And all we need to do is just touch right over here on the barrel. And we could see it move back just a little bit further. And we're left with two areas to align for the slide stop. With my left hand still gently pushing against the spring, I move the slide to align that half circle into position right here. And then I move the barrel forward to align this hole right here. Both of them now lined up. The slide stop is then inserted in the forward hole on a slightly downward angle, as you see. I realigned the slide slightly, which shifted when I installed the slide stop, but once centered, and it snaps in and up into position. I then pushed the slide forward, completing this task. The barrel bushing again is indexed and reintroduced at the 4 o'clock position. I rotate it clockwise to the 9 o'clock position, gently deflecting the spring if necessary to accomplish this task. The recoil spring plug is then inserted onto the end of the spring. Then, using either my finger or the tool with eye protection, I compress the spring, start turning the barrel bushing counterclockwise to the 6 o'clock position until everything snaps in. The slide is racked back several times to make sure that there's no binding, and then I release the hammer with the trigger. I repeat this task one more time. Everything feels good. We could do some basic function tests. Using an empty magazine, we insert it into the pistol, and we pull back on the slide, and it should stay locked open. And it does. Very good. We'll pull back on the slide while depressing the slide stop, bringing the slide back forward, and remove the magazine. The entire outside of the pistol will get a light oiling on the outside. And we'll conduct one last function check, pulling back on the slide. The hammer's back. We hit the trigger, it releases. Holding the trigger, we pull back on the slide again. Slowly releasing the trigger. It clicks. Hold the hammer, pull the trigger, and it clicks again. Very good. It's ready to be tested at the range. And that concludes this video on the comprehensive cleaning of the firing pin, extractor, and slide of this Rock Island 1911. I hope you found this video enjoyable, entertaining, and informative. Do me a favor, hit that like button down below. Helps me out a lot when you do. And hit that subscribe button for more videos like this when they come out. Again, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. Would you like to reply?